Hi, I'm Doug. Join us as we follow the moon. I'm coming to you today, Wednesday, the 29th of May, and we've gotten word from one of our camping partners about something that we definitely need to let you know about. Let's face it, the cost of camping, especially when you're 365 nights a year, is not getting any cheaper. And so we have relied very heavily on camping memberships to help offset those costs and bring them down to where it's manageable doing this full time. And we've tried several, not going to name names, but some of them we've liked, some of them we've kept, some of them we've tried for just a short time and gotten rid of because they didn't work for our particular style. But there are a couple that I don't think we could do this full-time living on the road without. One of them that's probably the least expensive one to get started with is Coast to Coast. And what I want to tell you right now, if you're a Coast to Coast member already, stick around because I've got some exciting news for you too. But if you're not a Coast to Coast member, there's lots of reasons for you to stay tuned to the rest of this video. Like 80% savings, and that's real money. That's not just if you use it so many days a year or anything like that. That's real savings of 80%. So with that, we have shopped around for different camping memberships, and we really found out with Coast to Coast that not all Coast to Coast memberships are created equal. It depends on where you purchase them as to what you pay for them. Some of the other camping memberships are a little bit more cut and dried. This is what it costs you to join. This is what it costs you for your annual fees and so on and so forth. Coast to Coast is a little bit different. It's up to the individual parks to set their final price, and it's also up to the individual parks what they're going to charge you in your annual park fee maintenance cost. That's a big one. Now you do have a planned maintenance of about $150 a year with Coast to Coast regardless where you buy it, and that is a constant. That goes directly to Coast to Coast. But what you pay up front and what you pay each year are set by the park. And to be real honest about it, those parks pretty much have to charge everybody the same thing. They can't treat one customer differently than they treat another one. So we chose to, and we were in Florida at the time, but we chose to do our Coast to Coast membership with Philip at Golden Pond RV Resort in Shirley, Arkansas. He's a great guy, very down to earth, and he and his family, he and his wife and three daughters, have a beautiful park there that they purchased in 2014, moved from Mississippi up to Arkansas to run this park. And he is one of the biggest square shooters I've ever met with Coast to Coast. And I'll show you a little bit. If you want to find some more information on it, here's what you do. On your computer, go to goldenpondrvpark.com and it'll come up to the home page. Now you feel free to check out his park because it's great. We have been there once, we've stayed there once, a few months after we got our membership. That's not a requirement, but it's really a nice park and we really do highly recommend it. You'll also at that point then go up to the top and click on the tab that says rates and memberships and scroll down and you'll see his limited time sale that he's running right now. And yes, just like I told you, 80% off. As an example, the Coast to Coast Deluxe membership that we have, there are resorts very near where he is that are selling those for $5,000. He has them on sale right now for $1,200. And I will tell you, we've had our Coast to Coast for a few years now, and that is less than we paid for it a few years ago. So there's a camping cost that came down. When you're a Coast to Coast member, you make your reservations online through their website, which is super simple, and you do it through points. Now, to make points easy, when you reserve for one night, it's 1,000 points. 1,000 points costs you $10. It's just a conversion. So if you're going to stay a week, it's 7,000 points, $70. So you put that money in your Coast to Coast account, you reserve your space, and that's it. Now, some of the parks and resort areas may charge some additional amenity fees. They're normally maybe $5 a night for 50 amp. They're minimal, they're very nominal like that. So do keep that in mind. But with this membership, you're going to be able to camp with their reservation system for $10 a night, plus any additional amenity fees that are imposed by the park. And those are all explained on the website for each individual park. We also have a playlist if you want to check out some of these Coast to Coast resorts that are just our stays. If you go over to our Follow the Moon main page, go to the playlist for RV parks and campgrounds, Coast to Coast, you'll see some that we've stayed in. In fact, the video coming out this Friday, the 31st, is going to be on our stay at Eagles Landing in Grove, Oklahoma, where we were just at a few weeks ago. And we also have coming up in a few weeks, the week after next, we're going to be staying at Rushmore Shadows in Mount Rushmore for $10 a night for 2 weeks. $140 a night. I'm sorry, $140 for 2 weeks at Mount Rushmore, and there are places that are charging that much for one night. So you can see it does pay for itself very quickly. Again, I'm sorry, I'm in a campground and we got campers coming in and going out right now. But if you like to camp weekends, holidays, or whether you like to camp seasonally or whether you like to camp full-time, this is a way to seriously save yourself some money. Philip also does packages with RPI, Resorts Park International. That's a membership we don't happen to have, but those prices are there on that website also. And he also does combinations that if you pick up a Coast to Coast and an RPI, you can get both of them for very little. So there's some great deals to be had. Now, I told you if you already were a Coast to Coast member, there are ways that he can help you out also. That comes down to the home park fees. There are parks that are charging $300 a year or more in their home park annual maintenance. Philip charges $0. So if you purchase your Coast to Coast through him, you're not only getting a great sale price up front, but you're also not going to have to pay that annual home park fee that each of these parks institute on their own. If you already have one and you're paying, let's just say $300 a year, in some instances, you can transfer your membership to his resort. We'll show you on the slide here. It's $600 right now during this sale to transfer your membership to his park, and you'll never pay another annual fee. So if you're paying $300 a year, in 2 years, you've recouped that cost, and from then on, you're just money ahead. So give Philip a call. We'll put his name, his phone number here on the screen, or you can go through his website where it says contact us, fill that out, and he'll be back in touch with you. He's a great guy. We did a video at his park and kind of interviewed him about Coast to Coast and how it all worked. So if you have questions and want to review that video, we'll put a link to it up above. If you want to check out some of the other Coast to Coast parks, We've been in Myrtle Beach. We've been in Branson, Missouri. We've been in Huntsville, Ohio at Indian Lake. We've been in some great parks. Gaylord, Michigan was a beautiful coast-to-coast park. And the one you're going to see Friday in Grove is a great park also. So if you're not a coast-to-coast member, you owe it to yourself and to your budget to check out his sale that's going on. Tell him Doug and Cathy from Follow the Moon sent you. We are not being paid to do this video. It's not sponsored by Coast to Coast or by Philip or Golden Pond RV Park. He does give us back a thank you if any of our referrals purchase from him, and we do appreciate that. That helps keep us in cameras. But do definitely, you owe it to yourself to check into it, check out a couple of these videos, and talk to Philip. He'll give you the straight, and he'll let you know exactly what will work best for you, which memberships will work best for you. And for us, Coast to Coast fits great because they cover throughout the country, but a lot in the midsection of the country, where some of the other campground memberships will cover the East Coast, the West Coast, and the South, but not in the middle of the country. So with our travel plans this year, coming straight up through Oklahoma into the Dakotas, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Utah, it's been a lifesaver to us this year. And you'll see a lot more Coast to Coast videos coming up. So with that, if you enjoyed the video today, leave us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, watch for the button that'll appear here at the end. Tap that, ring the notification bell. You'll know when every one of our videos come out, the Monday ones, the Friday ones, and the ones we throw in occasionally when we've got a major announcement like this. So until next time, thank you for following us as we follow the moon.